Hi, thanks for coming. This project relates the connection between environmental and social justice through the lens of access to natural space. This project's goal is to use experiences with nature in designing dignified, empathetic spaces that are respectful, useful, and dignified for those incarcerated in America. This was a study on the use of nature videos being shown in prisons, where people's complete lack of stimuli can lead to an extinction of experience. It showed how nature is incredibly impactful for our mental health and our very essence as human beings. The study noted the physical and emotional benefits that contact with nature afforded both inmates and guards. My site is Rikers, the prison complex that houses the jails of New York City. It is set to be closed, and the city is attempting to build 4 new jails in each of the different boroughs. Studying the island was an eye-opening look into interiors for punishment and control, and a place known for its culture of violence and lasting trauma. It is a very cold, sterile, toxic, literally and figuratively, and emotionally harsh environment. Lack of any connection to nature is traumatic, and it is much too common in neighborhoods of people of color. This problem isn't just a part of our criminal justice system, it's a real dividing point with systemic racism in America. Around 90% of Rikers inmates are people of color, and many suffer from undiagnosed and untreated mental illness. Rikers is the embodiment of the human experience where all connection to nature, family, and connection is severed and rewired in a dangerous new ecosystem. This environment manifests anger, violence, and depression. I decided if vicarious nature could be impactful, what would happen if we opened up our ability to connect? In my search for direct contact with nature, I made sure to experience nature daily. I started largely exploring Central Park, and over time I narrowed and narrowed until I found my specific little bench. I observed how it affected my mental health. I observed the connections within the ecology, and I studied what animals need to feel safe and happy. I also sought tactile, meaningful connections with nature inside of my own apartment. I created a community tank, and it has been an enlightening experience for designing for enrichment and safety. This design reverses our need for control and domination when it comes to incarceration. It's about changing the intention and outcome from punishment to healing and connection. This is the plan for the modern jails that are being planned in each of the 4 boroughs. This is to provide better interiors, safer conditions, and more connection with local communities. However, these jails do not meet my criteria for the bare minimum of human autonomy and decency as they stand. My design incorporates connection to nature lacking in sterile environments. It also considers the importance of enrichment for humans as animals, variety and biodiversity throughout the system, enrichment for mental health, and investment in the health of local wildlife. The heart of this project lies at the boundary between this green space, where we are seeking to cultivate a network of native ecosystems that are connected exclusively for animal movement, but are also connected to each of the human spaces in a meaningful way, for humans to be welcomed back into the ecosystem as we help our urban ecology deepen, diversify, and thrive. I've always been a fan of tiny living. I think it's economical and realistic and leads to innovative uses of space. But I think there's a minimum for a human sense of autonomy, safety, and happiness. The cell is a private space, and we want it to be the equivalent of a cozy, warm burrow where you have all your basic needs met and you're not unnecessarily traumatized. This is the day room, which is connected to the cells, which houses pretty much all social interaction inside a prison's heavily controlled network. It is a priority to create a space that is comforting and diverse to alleviate boredom, anger, and the sensation rooted in both sterility of interiors and lack of both mental stimulation and true connection to the earth.